What's poppin', everybody? True Evil here, and today I am bringing you my ultimate Mizusumi Aya guide. She is the newest support unit in Etheria Restart, and honestly, might actually be one of the best supports in the game due to her synergy with one of the other best supports in the game, Fuqiu. So let's go in and talk about why this duo is amazing. So let's talk about why Mizusumi is so powerful, and the first thing we need to talk about is her passive. The reason why the passive is so powerful is because at the beginning of her turn, everyone gets cleansed one debuff, and if they do get cleansed, well, they get a heal too, which is really nice because another really big cleanse unit, Doki Doki, well, she doesn't have a heal. So if you're playing against a team that has a lot of damage, well, cool, you got cleansed, but you're still going to take a lot of damage. So having the heal on top of the cleanse is very nice. And the biggest thing is once this is max lattice, this is going to trigger even if she's stunned. So this is really important because if you're playing against a CC comp and they hit you with a stun, your entire team is stunned. Well, even if Mizusumi is stunned on her first turn, everyone is going to get that cleanse and the heal, which is a little bit different than Doki Doki, where Doki Doki needs to get her stacks on to be able to cleanse. So if you're up against like a Heinrich, this is actually a lot stronger in my opinion. So I really like this passive, but what really makes her broken is her skill 3. Now, her skill 3 is really what makes her busted, in my opinion. Basically, everyone gets a giant amount of turn meter push up, and we get the skill cooldown and the shell cooldown, which is going to be really big. Then, whenever a unit dies, we're going to reduce the skill cooldown by 2, and if the skill doesn't have any cooldown, well, you get 80% turn meter push up, which basically means you're going to have a turn pretty much immediately after. So this is going to make your team cycle like crazy, especially with any type of cooldown reduction. But more importantly, this cooldown reduction on its own really helps synergizes with one of the other best supports in the game, Fuqiu, where Fuqiu, her only sort of drawback is she can't cleanse, and well, there's some downtime on the Moonlit Veil if you don't have a character like Doki Doki. And the great thing is both of these characters kind of go together and makes it so you don't necessarily need Doki Doki, and you're just going to get a lot more healing and turn cycling. And we're going to watch some gameplay footage in a minute from Bach, and he's going to really demonstrate how powerful Fuqiu plus Mizusumi is. But before we get to the gameplay footage, let's talk about the build that I highly recommend for this character. For the shell that we're going to be rocking for Mizusumi is going to be Reaper Steps. Now you can also do Halloween, and the good thing with Halloween is that the cooldown will be reduced to 2, so once any unit dies on like that first turn, you'll immediately get that 80% turn meter push up. So that's a really important thing to note, but I think Reaper Steps is going to be the one that you're going to see the most, and it's going to feel the best, so this is the one we're going to talk about here. And on this, I would say you want Bloodbath at 12 and you want Swift Rush also at 12. So it doesn't matter if you have Swift Smite or a Volguard, and the reason for that is one, Swift Smite doesn't really do anything because she doesn't need effect accuracy, and with a Volguard, well, I think the extra speed is more important than the effect res and the additional healing. I think 12 Swift Rush and 12 Bloodbath is just going to be how you're going to build her, and you might want to try the Volguard, but I don't think it's necessarily worth it. Then for the passive effects, you're going to want Red Insight, just because, well, I hate CC. You're definitely going to want this 60% increase effect res, just so this helps push you up on your first turn so you can get that turn 3 ready and kicking. And then you're going to want Red Surge and Red Shadow Dash. And, you know, I'm out of chips right now, which is why Bach is going to be the one showing the gameplay footage. And for the modules, I say I like having 2 effect res pieces and 1 HP piece, but you can also do 2 HP pieces and 1 effect res. It's going to be really up to you and whether or not you're picking her into CC cleaves more or bruisers with a little bit of CC. So it's really going to depend on that, whether you do the 2 HP plus 1 effect res or you're going to do 2 effect res plus 1 HP. Basically, she needs enough HP that she's going to survive, but also she needs effect res, so Reaper Steps is going to proc. So that's how you're going to build her. So let's get to the gameplay and see how awesome Mizusumi really is. Now, another shout out to Bach for providing the replay footage of the gameplay, but what you're really going to see here is just sort of how busted Mizusumi plus Fuqiu is. It's one of the strongest combos in the game, in my opinion, and something we really need to spot out because this is very powerful. First off, yeah, you're going to get pushed back and stuff, so it feels a little bad, especially when Lilith pushes Mizusumi back, but the good news is that she's coming back with the quickness here. And Hoyon is most likely going to one-shot someone, but it's probably going to be Lilium because Lilium is so squishy. Yeah, there we go. But I don't think it really matters because you're going to see that these 2 support units together just kind of make it so as long as you have 1 DPS alive, you're going to be kicking. So let's see how powerful Borgne is. And believe me, boys, he is definitely one of the best ways to win at this video game. If you didn't watch my video on the latest balance patch, you're going to see why I said Born is probably one of the best units in the game right now. And you see here that Purify was really strong, and as you can see here, basically both of them together make it so you're pretty much always like, sure, you're going to have a couple of debuffs, but you're still going to be cleansing like crazy and healing. As you can see, the heals is just so much with these 2 units together, and it just feels so strong. And there's really no way to break through this, in my opinion, right now. So definitely a huge thing here. And well, yeah, this turn meter push up and it's basically over at this point. So yeah, there you go. You just like, what can you really say? Mitsu plus Fuqiu equals it feels like biscuits with gravy, dude. Both of them just go together so well, and honestly, I think you're going to be seeing a lot of them in AI Arena coming up. But, you know, people may have just like full-on built Kokari like me, where you need max lattices to be able to use him, and because of that, maybe they didn't have enough lattices for Mitsu. So I do think in a couple of weeks you're just going to start seeing her plus Fuqiu in pretty much every AI Arena defense setup. I think that's a really important thing to point out. Let's watch one more game, but let's watch it how she works when you don't have that Fuqiu combo. Let's just see what she's like without that. Now, I think this is going to be a really important one to watch here because this is the CC matchup, which is going to come up a lot, especially since a lot more people are building Nahorn now. Mio is getting picked like crazy. Obel is still one of the best units in the game, so it's really important to just see how Mitsu works against the CC teams. And as you can see here, we have the Born go and basically kills everything. So I will say Mizusumi might seem a little underwhelming if you just read her kit, but she gels so powerfully with the other support units like Ling Luo in that last match, Fuqiu in the other match, and honestly, the main thing you can take away from this video is that the Born buffs were very nice, and if you want to be winning in GVG, I highly recommend to 555 Born and max dupe him as soon as you can, because he is arguably the best way to win at this video game right now, in my opinion. But that's another video. I hope you really enjoyed this, and shout out to Bach for providing the gameplay footage since I am a little low on lattices right now for this character, even though she is on my priority list to build. So if you're not following Bach right now on Twitch, I'm going to have a link in the description for you to follow him. He streams pretty much every day and is one of the best RTA players. So that's it for now. And if you have any questions about Mizusumi, be sure to post it in the comments, and please like the video if you could. It really helps out the channel. So that's it for now. True Evil over and out.